Hey everyone, we are so glad that you decided to join us for this educational workshop entitled Holistic Practices for Family Building. My name is Lynn Poland. I am the co-founder of Kindred Beginnings, a family building support community offering a safe, brave space for those navigating the journey to be supported, heard, and validated. If you have any questions about our programs or how we can better support you, please reach out to me or you can visit our site. Thank you for making some time and space to focus on holistic wellness today. We are in for a true treat with Barbara Teddy Petrowski. Teddy is a board certified holistic nurse with more than 40 years of medical experience as a registered nurse. She is a certified yoga therapist, a diplomat of Asian bodywork therapy, and an expertise in shiatsu and acupressure, and a Reiki master for over 20 years. In 2000, Teddy founded Greater Harmony, combining her experience as a registered nurse with her understanding of Eastern healing arts. The self-care benefits Eastern therapies provide is a piece that was missing in her Western-based medical training. She loves bringing her blended experience to help her students and clients meet their wellness goals. Teddy has been featured in multiple articles, including Holistic Nursing for Patients Undergoing Fertility Treatment and Finding Balance During the Infertility Process, both which will be linked to this recording. And you can sign up for Greater Harmony's wellness blog, which will also be linked for more information from her. Welcome, Teddy. Thank you so much for sharing your time and spirit with us. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. So how's everybody doing this morning?
I'm a little frazzled personally.
Well, let's take a breath. So September is self-awareness, self-care awareness month. And I hope, I know I've seen Lynn posting some things, so I'm sure if you've been following her that you may have already heard about September and taking care of yourself. And I just want to give you a little bit of my background too. I know it was so kind for Lynn, all those wonderful things. It was about 25 years ago. I was working in a busy ICU as a registered nurse. I was taking care of aging parents, had young children that I was taking care of and all the things. And I was kind of sandwiched in the middle. And what happened was I really felt that I wasn't really taking care of myself. I was helping everybody else. So I think in this time, and I love that they've done that for self-care because I think it's crucial. It's crucial to our everyday being, whether you're in the family building fertility process or you're just in regular everyday mode. I think modern day stress really can play havoc with our bodies and our well-being. And I think some of these things that I've been practicing, and I say that because it is a practice. You don't need to be perfect. You need to just step out and really just let it come to you rather than forcing it. No judgment. So I think that's really important. So I think these modalities are one of the optimal ways to really take care of our bodies and our nervous system, because we know in family building and fertility, it can be quite stressful. And that's been documented, not just by, people going through it, but science has actually studied that also. So I think what I'd like to do is start with maybe just some breathing, some grounding. And I think that's really important for all of us because trying to get on how we're on Zoom, and if technology works, that's great. If it doesn't, it can be a little bit unsettling. So it also is kind of nice to know that there's something there that you can kind of go back to neutral. And I think a lot of times through our bodies, through the day, we grip and we don't even know we're gripping. And when stress comes along, yes, we maybe more have these stress boxes up here. We're more shallow breathing. So I want to let you know that this is a great way to start your day, and it's called the STOP. So I know some of you aren't on visual camera, but whether you're on or not, you can find a comfortable seat. And I think that's also important. So go ahead and shift your sitting bones. You can also, if you're off camera and you want to lay down, maybe maybe Lynn, you want to lay down this morning too, feel free to do that. And just let your body begin to settle in. So I want you to maybe lower your gaze, take a minute, shift your sitting bones, and that's where your buttocks touches the seat of the chair, and let your tailbone really feel that connection of the seat underneath it. And as you do that, you can just bring and close your external eyes, and that internal eye will begin to awaken. And just take a few breaths here. So as we take a few breaths, maybe we can let go of some of the would haves, the could haves, the should haves. We're going to keep them on the other side of the door that you walked in to come into this seat, to come into this place. And as you do that, we can bring awareness to your immediate surroundings, the touch of your clothing and your skin and the air that surrounds you. And then we go to a place of being and creating that sturdy, steady position. So if you're sitting, take a minute to let your ankles be right under your knees so you can adjust your feet a little bit so that it's joint over joint. You can let your elbows bend and your hands come onto your lap. And then feel as if the soles of your feet were being gently planted. And this is the time, especially in Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, of being grounded and nourishing your roots. And if you look at nature, you can see that also with all the harvests that's coming out. We feel a sense of connection, all those wonderful root vegetables. And then slowly drawing that energy up into your calves, into your thighs, and up into where your tailbone meets the seat of the chair. So you feel a sense of connection here, as if the tailbone was a large root of a tree. And let the earth come up and meet it. And then slowly you're going to lift the spine up out of the pelvis as you stack one vertebra over the other, a nice lengthening of the spine. Low back, neck, and shoulders are in alignment. Crown of the head is gently lifted. So the STOP are acronyms, and we're going to just do this briefly and skillfully. So we bring awareness to the crown of your head. And for that S, soft face, soft shoulders, we imagine a wave of relaxation coming down from the crown of the head, softening the brow, softening the temples, the cheekbones, letting that softness come into the jaw and to the lips. So the facial muscles start to soften. You'll feel that wave coming around the back of the neck and the shoulders. So we let the space grow between the bottom of the earlobe and the top of the shoulder so we can let that chest begin to open. So S, soft face, soft shoulders. T, taking a few slow mindful breaths. And mindfulness is a word that we hear quite a lot, but the simple meaning of it is with awareness. So we bring our mind one pointed focus into our own body's rhythm here, and tuning into a felt sense of the breath flowing out. Maybe it feels a little bit more warmth. The breath flowing in, perhaps a little bit more coolness. Out and in and out, your own wonderful rhythm. And any kind of breathing practice you want to do, what's totally comfortable for you. So listen to your body and let it rest here. S, soft face, soft shoulders. T, taking a few slow mindful breaths. O, open your chest, open your mind, open yourself to the possibilities of just this breath, just this breath. And as you do that, you can create a sense of being the observer to the breath flowing in and the breath flowing out. And in your mind's eye, perhaps take a step back and become the observer. And as we do that, it leads us into the P, the present moment. Safe, secure, And just rest here for a minute. And as you do, I always start my practice and my classes with a positive affirmation. So in your mind's eye, it's all about loving kindness. The metta meditation is about loving kindness. And right before we logged on, I picked out a card for you all, and that word is peace. So we want to cultivate a sense of equanimity, release the attachment. And I think that's really important. So this is a practice that I do in my self-care routine each and every day. And if you want to find out more about it, you can always reach out to me about it. And then let's go ahead, if you have glasses, go ahead and take them off. If not, rub your hands briskly together. And then let's go ahead and cup, once your hands are a little warmer, alongside your nose, you're going to cup your hands over your eyes, open your eyes into the warmth of your hands, and just take a few breaths here. And let, again, maybe something that's going on. We use mind, body, and acupressure, yoga, breathing, and relaxation techniques really do help with the fertility process, family building, because it connects the mind and body to help reduce the physical and emotional effects. And it creates optimal conditions for you in your body and in your being. And then let's go ahead and release it. So, how's everybody doing? Thumbs up? Yeah? Better, good. So depending on our circumstances and life, we can see that a lot of times it causes a lot of emotional upheaval. And I'm going to kind of focus a little bit. I'm going to give you some acupressure because I know sometimes whether you're not able to go for acupuncture or not able to come for body work, which is what I do, no needles. I was a nurse for many years and I stay away from the needles. I like my hands and my fingers. So I'm going to teach you something today that is really beneficial and you can do anytime, any day. And we call it Do-In. It's self-acupressure. But I want to kind of back up a little bit because in Chinese medicine, very similar to Western medicine, but the Chinese, traditional Chinese medicine actually is based on the energetic system. And I kind of went and found my one of my posters here that it's these meridians, and it may be a little bit difficult, but it's these meridians, and maybe I'll bring it up a little bit closer so you can see it, that do flow through the body. And one of them is the kidney, and you can see it there, which the kidney meridian system is really related to nurturing the body's life force, or what we call qi. So it starts at the bottom of the foot, that's kidney 1, and goes all the way up the body. And I'm focusing on the points that related to the kidney because it's very important in Chinese medicine for anyone that wants to do any family building and boost their potency. It's some great points. So that kidney absence is really the foundation of all growth and development for the body, controlling sexuality and fertility. And I've been talking for a few minutes and I like interactive. So what I'd like you to do, if you can, and Lynn, I know you'll be part of the screen and that's okay. You don't have to adjust, and I might be too, but I want everybody to stand up. So I'm going to try and adjust my camera as much as I can so you can see me. Great. And yeah, there we go. So I think I can lower it a little bit. I thought I would need to do that. We're going to do some points that are really good for that kidney, your kidney reserves, and also help you. So we always are waiting. We're standing in line, whatever. So I want you to go into standing. As you go into standing, I want you to rock ball and heel, inner and outer edges, because again, this time of ball relates to nourishing your foundation side to side. And you really can connect to the soles of the feet here. So as you connect to the soles of the feet, imagine as if there were little tiny tap roots, again, going down, and feel planted, feel grounded. And then with the energy flowing up with the inhale, we'll lift that energy up the calves, lifting the kneecaps, lifting the spine up out of the pelvis as we lift the crown of the head up. That's the inhale. With the exhale, we release down. Keep your shoulders relaxed, soften the knees, but keep the spine long. And we find a nice planted position, and that's called Sadasana. We're going to work on the kidney yang part, which is Ming Men. And I want you to take your hands along your back. So you can use the back of your hands, the front of your hands, gentle fists, but we want to go right at that natural waist. And as you do that, about 4 fingers out. So you never want to press on any bones. And I want you to start just massaging it. So it's a nice stretch to open your chest, all open, and bring a little bit more breath in. And as we do that, soften those knees a little bit. So Ming Men, or the Sea of Vitality, is really very good to kind of move you forward, very good for willpower. And it's an organ that helps with kidney and also your immune system. And you want to do this for about a minute. So I want you to bring your mind and bring your breath. So when you're doing any kind of acupressure for optimal results, perform the acupressure daily. If you can't, then try to do it 2 to 3 times a week to be effective. When you first do this, you want to do it for a full minute, and you want to encourage deep abdominal breathing. And this
does it matter which way we're rotating? Does it need to be, Teddy? It doesn't.
Whatever's comfortable for you. Whatever's comfortable for you. That's a great question. Now, and you can kind of play with it. And as you do this, let this back pelvis be nice and broad and open. So this is one great point that nourishes kidney yang. And I want to do one more while we're standing, because I think this is also a really nice one. It relates to some points may not be kidney points, but they influence the abdominal cavity and the reproductive organs. And the next one is, I want you to take 2 fingers, put them right at the top. So right at the top of your, I have this one, I should have worn this one, top of this leg bone. So this is the femur, and this is the bottom of the torso or the pelvis. So you can feel as you do this, I want you to do a forward bend. So let those fingers, let the pad of the fingers, and again, we're going into that nice awareness here for where your mind goes, energy flows. And we want to go ahead and come forward. Now, before we do that, once your head comes past your shoulders, soften your knees. So that keeps the spine vertical. Vertical is easy, vertical is safe, and I don't know if anybody has any back issues. So as you're doing this, you're coming forward and you're putting pressure with the pads of your hands onto that point. So as you're doing this, kind of lengthen out, good, and hold it here. This is very good for, again, potency, menstrual cramps, any kind of abdominal, and then bend the knees and come up. Good. And let's go ahead and sit back down. So I felt like that would be a nice 2 points that just kind of give you a little bit of the experience. And we're going to, at the end, do one more that I think you would like. But I want to talk about the good news is, so when you're going through this process, it can be a lot of ups and downs, but the body has an intrinsic ability to deal with environmental stresses. And the kidney meridian can also be strengthened in a lot of ways other than acupressure points. There are things that you can do for yourself, and maybe you're already doing that for you, to really recharge your kidney meridian. So emotional expression, I think this is a good one, to encourage openness. I think trust and communication, and also going back to that idea of the willingness to let go, that non-judgmental letting go of expectations or judgments of where you think you should be or shouldn't be, and just let yourself be in that moment. And I think also when you're doing that, yes, you're going through this process and there's a lot of ups and downs, but if you can put it kind of all in a box, put the lid on, even if you have to sit on that lid, and take some time to do some of these techniques that I'm talking about, it really does build resiliency to stress. And I think that's very important. Also, your physical health. And again, you may be doing some of this, but exercise is a really good stress buster. And I think for me personally, it's yoga and meditation. And there's a lot of data too that it really helps with people undergoing the process. And when you're talking about yoga, in my opinion, is rather than a vigorous practice like a vinyasa or hot yoga, Chinese medicine states that it should be more a gentle process if we're nourishing the kidneys, something that you can do repetitive, but on a lighter scale, but the more you do it, the more it's enhanced. Also, you don't want to create heat according to traditional Chinese medicine. So that's something that you may have heard before or not. Another thing is a balanced diet. And I know I've seen, you have different people coming on, but according to traditional Chinese medicine, again, excess amount of sugar can play havoc on your kidneys, which then on your spleen, which then affects the kidneys. So you want to live more having low sugar, high quality food, whole grains, and fresh food, and we're really in that time of year that's really nice now, looking at the root vegetables. Think about all the things that will help nourish your foundation, all those root vegetables, beets, sweet potatoes, onions. There's all kinds of greens still rooted into the ground. So we live in an area that's really nice for that. So take advantage. Also, just a little bit, people will ask me, well, is there a certain thing that helps benefit the kidneys? One thing that I would say, and I don't want you to overdo it, but maybe add it weekly into your diet, maybe a couple times, are actually black beans. And if you aren't a cook, you can always not cook them from, steaming them. You can just get a can, rinse it well, and use the black beans. So that's something that helps nourish the kidneys. Also, you heard me talk about when we were doing the stop your posture. So again, a nice long spine, getting shoulders open, because when we hunch over, we put a lot of stress on the pelvic area and cause chronic tension there. So if we can do these and open it up, we can help increase the blood flow to this area. And we talked about acupressure points, and I'd like to at least do one more. I know we're kind of at that half hour. So Lynn, you kind of guide me if we want to go over or how you want to work it here.
Oh, you're fine. I just want to point one thing out, because I, in full disclosure, have worked with Teddy for years. One of the things that Teddy said to me, and that stuck with me, is with the food. And I remember you saying, you just need to do a little bit more of the good stuff and just a little bit less, just like a small shift. That was something that that sticks with me. And these small shifts eventually add up and they become big changes. And so I just wanted to bring that up, because I think that will be helpful.
That's a great point. And I think a lot of times with Eastern healing arts, it's a journey. It's not about, putting a lot of pressure on yourself to perform. And I mentioned that about letting go, and not judging yourself, that it is a practice. And I think it's very subtle, but it's cumulative, and the benefits are endless. Wherever you're in the life cycle, I think it's important. I know 25 years ago, it saved my life. So I became a practitioner because I felt it was so powerful. And I wanted to share it with other people, because when I was going to nursing school, they didn't teach us how to take care of ourselves. So very important. And wherever you are in your life cycle, not just in one point, although that may be the motivation at that point.